There's the astronauts going to Ellington Field.
In 9 quick minutes, we now have 2 new...
Nocturnal news. Now I'm going to give you guys all the details I have before we break this down. By the way, we have the full video analysis at the end of the video if you want to skip forward. Okay, you have the SpaceX booster returning back to Earth. Then you have second stage single Merlin engine rocket taking the Dragon capsule into low Earth orbit to the ISS, or as many of you have heard it categorized, first stage coming down and the MVAC with the astronauts on the split screen. That's typically how they film these things. Okay, the SpaceX Dragon currently traveling over 17,000 miles an hour. And just one single Merlin engine can produce over 20 pounds of thrust, so any ice particles or anything like that, they're going to get blown away, as we see that happening over and over in this video and just about any other SpaceX video you see on the internet. But, okay, whatever this anomaly is, it's not coming from the rocket or any of the cold gases from the rocket that will eventually turn into ice and break off. The object is coming from the east low Earth orbit, and then not only does it travel to the west, but then it goes through, well, what I think is the exhaust wake, okay, kind of like the wake on a boat, from the Merlin engine, and then flies off to the southwest. So it's under intelligent flight control, and it's basically swimming upriver, but in space terms. So I don't know what this is. It's just impossible, you know, to be debris, something like that. Okay, you can see the first stage rocket land back on Earth before the anomaly appears, and it's certainly not the fairing doors from the SpaceX Dragon capsule. I've done just in-depth breakdowns about the Falcon 9 rocket and these different engines, the Merlin engines going up to NASA, showing you guys how these things work and where the gases come through the tubing and all that. So it's not that. It's not anything like that. And at this point in the video, they've not done any type of a jettison of any objects. This is about 9 minutes, maybe 5, 6, 7 seconds into the video when you see the anomaly come into frame. You can also see the first stage rocket land back on Earth before, okay, that's very important, before the anomaly appears. So it's certainly not, not the fairing doors, not the SpaceX Dragon capsule, or anything like that. I mean, it's simply unexplainable. Then you can hear SpaceX call for the MVAC shutdown. Okay, that's the Merlin engine that you see right there, that little nose cone, or cone, right, engine cone rather, right there. They call for shutdown around 9 minutes, and that's, you see, 9 minutes 26 seconds. That's when the anomaly comes into frame. Okay, and then you can kind of hear the lady that's narrating the SpaceX video. You know, she kind of starts to stutter and stammer a little bit because, I mean, she can't believe what she's witnessing. And we've seen this a million times with NASA videos. When they see these anomalies, they start to stutter and stammer before they automatically go to another camera. Okay, of course, and by the way, SpaceX did go to another camera. The second stage rocket also has smaller thrusters that can fire to correct course, but none of that would explain the anomaly.
Look at all this weird stuff flying around here. NASA TV.
And of course, you cannot just chalk this up as space debris, bro. That's what we always hear. Because again, space debris doesn't travel across the wake of a Merlin engine exhaust, alter its course, and accelerate at what appears to be around 17,000 miles an hour. This object accelerated after changing its flight path. So whatever this is, again, I believe it's under intelligent flight control. That's why they switched cameras. That's why they tried to scrub this video from the internet. All right, so at this point, I just want to do a quick little video analysis. Now, as I mentioned earlier, first I want to start down here to the overlays. Okay, you see these two UFOs come into frame right there. Okay, one on the left, one on the right. And what you'll notice is the one going up, it kind of splits into quantity two separate UFOs right there. This is very hard to toggle here. I'll do the best I can right There. Okay, we'll zoom in. Now, at this point, okay, you have the bottom one on the left, and you have the top one on the right coming into frame. Okay, and we can see it is tumbling, so we actually have 3 different anomalies here. And right there, you see it take this hard turn down to the bottom. We get about 3 or 4 frames right there, so we'll start this over. You see those 2 little guys down there, actually 3. Okay, again, let me just toggle over here. You're going to see it tumbling through space, and we can even zoom in on this, guys. Okay, that's what I do here. Okay, look at that. You can see that this is tumbling whatever it is. Okay, now we're going to kind of pan out just a little bit, and we'll forget about those 2 at the bottom for now, because I think one of the most important things of the video is proving that it does, you know, go a different way, right? It changes course under its own propulsion in the wake of the Merlin engine. Now, I'd like to do a little bit of research and figure out, you know, how much of a wake the exhaust leaves from these engines. I'm curious, in the zero vacuum of space. But regardless, I don't know. Maybe, you know, I guess it would be a debate in the comments. I don't know if the exhaust cause this thing to kind of, you know, go down, but I wouldn't think so. Like, all the other ice particles and debris you see, it goes out and away. Okay, now right here, let's just do this again. Now, if you notice too, the one right there where the T is, T plus, you'll see it kind of it curves, right? I mean, look at this, guys. It's like a curve. You see that it curves, splits into 2, multiplies whatever, and then it kind of disappears or takes off. You see the one coming over there, it's kind of going in a straight line, but look at that, guys. You can see it definitely curves upwards right there. I can kind of go back and forth and show you. Okay, and there it is there. And remember, at this point, we have this guy coming into frame over here. Now, we don't get a whole lot of frames here. That's the thing. And you notice SpaceX, they go right to a different camera as soon as they notice what is happening. Okay, it's definitely tumbling. Almost looks like a cylinder, or like a kind of like a bowling pin or like a bowling ball. Okay. But, you know, I think we tried to assign, you know, certain shapes and designs on these UFOs that fit our brains, right? Looks like this, looks like that. But these are, you know, beings from other planets, other galaxies, universes, whatever. You know, so I'd be careful how we assign shapes, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, look at this, guys. Boom. Now, could this be a rogue satellite? Absolutely, it could. Now, I'm going to zoom all the way out. We're going to pan all the way out. Okay, again, look at the bottom there. You see 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 coming in, 1, 2, 3 coming in. And then this guy here, boom. Look at that, guys. I mean, I don't know. I guess you could say it's something floating in space, and perhaps the thrust from the Merlin engine caused it to go down like that, but I would argue against that. And I think if I do a little bit of research, what is it, like over 20,000 pounds of thrust on this MVAC Merlin engine? I don't know how far it could affect any type of space anomaly or satellite, etc. You know, that would be something that we would have to research. So there you go. All right, and just to put a pin in this, by the way, guys, follow us on TikTok, Facebook, X. We are everywhere. YouTube is a sinking ship. Okay, by the way, this was a little video I caught when they were live. That's the ISS right there. You see these weird objects kind of coming into frame there. I don't know what that is, if that's a screensaver, a UFO. At this point, who freaking knows? But, you know, again, just to put a pin in this, okay? By the way, I knew someone that used to say that, and it drove me. Let's put a pin in that for now. Drove me crazy, but just to put a pin in this, all right? Again, you cannot chalk this up as an ice particle, space debris, something falling off the first stage, second stage rocket. Impossible. I don't think anyone can debunk this. It's an incredible, you know, another incredible piece of UFO evidence brought to you by yours truly, Nocturnal News, okay? That's my radio voice right there. And I don't know what it is, guys, so I love bringing these to you, but I would ask if more people could just comment. I mean, is it really that hard? It takes like 5 seconds, and let me know what you think this is. I mean, you know, I appreciate all the great videos. Hope you're doing okay. Good to see you. Good. Okay, all that. Thank you. But, you know, I post these videos, and not that I'm trying to dictate what you say, but I want to hear your feedback. What do you think this is? What are your thoughts? What are your ideas? Maybe send it to someone who can debunk it, because, you know, look, guys, I always tell you, I am a debunker first and a UFO investigator second. So, all right, guys, leave a comment below, and we will see you on the next one.
Freedom copies. Tell me how to disarm.
In 9 quick minutes, we now have 2 new crew members on their way to the International Space Station, having taken off from Space Launch Complex 40. The crew now being in a good or expected orbit. We'll continue to coast for these few minutes, and then we get our first views inside the capsule of our 2 crew members.